Oh, you forgot the date.
Did I?
Yeah,
Did you
but
put the date in?
he didn't even. Yeah, I did. He didn't notice
It's
though.
2017.
Yeah,
We can be quiet until we get a call because I fucked up the document.
How would you like to learn about motorcycles and how they work? Today, we meet an NCC student with a love and passion for vintage motorcycles. This interest started 5 years back when he was introduced to old cars, which later developed into a fascination for motorcycles. He finds bikes and restores them to their old glory all by himself. Have you ever wondered the process of building a custom motorcycle? Today, your guest will take you from start to finish and tell you the highs and lows of this hobby of his. He will tell you where to find bikes, which one to choose, and what to do next once you have the bike. The Humanities Mass Communications Department at Norwalk Community College presents The New Directors, the show that introduces you to television's future writers, directors, and personalities. And now, join our host, Henry Hobson, to meet the next new director.
Thank you for joining us for today's edition of The New Directors. All of the people involved with this program are students in the television production course and are switching, controlling, directing audio and operating cameras, and acting as talent for the first time today. The guests you will meet on this show are students who, when not on camera, are behind the scenes working hard to bring this program to you with as few mistakes as possible. Each student has written and directed 4 different productions. This program will give them the chance to talk about themselves and the productions they've created, and give you the chance to get to know them and enjoy some of the work they've done during the semester. Our guest today is a motorcycle hobbyist who builds and rides vintage motorcycles. He will tell us about his process and how he makes his bikes. We'd like you to meet today's guest, Ty Doris.
Pleasure to be here, Henry.
Pleasure to have you, Ty.
Thanks.
So, Ty, can you tell us a little bit about your love for building and riding motorcycles?
Yeah, definitely. So it all started a few years back when I got my first car. I got an old Jeep, and it was really, really run down, and it caused me to have to fix it up myself. And then later on, I got to hang out with friends, and they would show me their motorcycles and let me ride them. So then it started to blossom more into a motorcycle hobby, which is a lot more cost effective. But then really, that's how it started. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about how I got my bike and how maybe you should if you think about getting one.
Awesome.
So first you have to start off by finding the bike, whether it's they were just seeing it on the street, someone selling one. I personally found mine through Craigslist.
Nice.
Once you finally have the bike, you have to assess what's wrong. And, hopefully it's not many bad things. Usually it's a lot worse than you're expecting. You've run into problems later down the line. But so my bike, I found it in better shape than you see right here. That's after I pulled almost everything off. The engine's gone.
Do you know the initial problem that was in the bike when you first got it?
Yeah, so when I knew that the engine wasn't running,
Right.
I could have made it a lot easier for myself and bought a bike that ran, but I wanted to learn about the engines and how they worked, so
That's awesome.
I found this bike, and this was a bike that I was really interested in for a long time. I've had a few other bikes before that, and I saw this bike, and I pulled the trigger, and I went for it.
Right.
But yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
once I finally got it, I got it home on the back of my friend's truck, and I started figuring out what was wrong with it, figuring out that I need to do this with the engine, do that with the engine. And then once I really started pulling things off, I started to figure out what my vision was going to be for it, looking at other people's projects or just, something of my own ideas.
Right.
That's really what it comes down to.
That's awesome.
And then, once you finally start to do some engine work and stuff like that, start to get it running, you put everything back in and it's time to ride it. Luckily, unfortunately,
awesome.
I'm not at that point yet. I'm very close. As you can see right here, the engine is almost completely taken apart.
Wow.
Pistons are off. It's time to start cleaning and rebuilding everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of
That's
fun.
really
but,
cool. I've always wanted to get into that myself, but
yeah,
it's an expensive hobby.
not as bad as cars, but it's also not cheap.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's cool though.
Yeah.
Could you tell us why you decided to take the TV production course?
Yeah, so when I was looking to sign up for classes, I already had a love for film. I've taken a few film appreciation courses, and I saw this class, and I saw it as an opportunity to see the other side of film, not just watch them, and really learn how they're made. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was, and also I'd already done a few editing things myself, and I thought this would be a great way to really perfect my editing and bring it to more professional.
Right, more industry standard.
Yes, more industry standard, a little bit more professional, and really
Yeah.
learn all the shortcuts and just bring my skill to another level.
And the
Yeah.
shortcuts are really helpful for editing on the fly.
Oh yeah,
They
for
make
sure.
it really fast.
Yes, yeah.
So, what are some of the things you have learned during this course, Ty?
Well, starting with the pre-production side, you really have to learn how to set up the shots, starting with a storyboard and looking at what your shot sheets are going to be. The storyboard really helps with when you're going to go shoot. You can finally look at the shot if you're not sure what the shot's going to be. You look at the storyboard and you say, that's what the shot is to look like. Let me set it up. I know my camera position. I know the diagram, and then you get it going. Also, really learning how to set up the scene with composition, really learning about rule of thirds, and
very important.
Yeah, it was very important. And then the most important thing for me in this class was becoming more efficient with editing. Just really learning all those shortcuts and how to really make smooth transitions really helped a lot.
Yeah.
And really something I enjoyed learning in this course.
Yeah, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, could you tell us about your 4 projects, the Student Studies, Cup of Tea, Fall Foliage, and Nature project?
Yeah, let me tell you a little bit about those. So the first one we did was the Student Studies course, where we were really thrown into the filming and editing side, and it really helped me learn how to shoot on the action. And as you can see, I film, edited, and directed everything by myself. And
wow, that's difficult.
Yeah, right there you can see I cut on the action, right there.
Wow,
Pristine. Professional. Yeah, so this project was really just learning how to set up the shots storyboard-wise, shot sheet-wise, and making sure you were ready to go into Avid with all your shots, knowing what you had. Next was the Cup of Tea, where we also, we were given another script, but we had to storyboard it and everything. And
do you always drink your tea out of a glass?
I do. Thanks for bringing that up. I knew you were going to bring that up. Everyone keeps bringing that up.
That's a classy choice right there.
Yeah, but as you see right there, cut on the action, right there, came right back down.
Wow.
One smooth motion, as if it was shot with multiple cameras, but that was one camera.
Only one.
One camera.
See, that's where you got them.
Yes.
That's the trick.
Next, we did the Nature project, which I enjoyed a lot. This was one of my favorite projects that we've done, where I learned how to shoot on multiple locations. So as you can see, we didn't have to set up a diagram, but we had to find the shots, whether it was learning about shift focuses or poor man's dissolve. I never knew anything about poor man's dissolves. I always thought all the dissolves were done post-production.
Right.
But in reality, I now know that you focus out, and then you start the other shot, focus out, and you focus back in, which was a great learning experience.
Good transition. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Very cool.
Last was our Orange project, which it gave us the most freedom. All we were given was something that we had to, an idea of what we had to do, and we had to write our own script. We had to storyboard everything, and then it really allowed us to have more freedom and really break out of our bubble and show our directing skills.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Get in tune with your creative side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, could you tell us about your best project?
Yeah, definitely. My favorite and best project, in my opinion, would have to be my Nature project. It really helped me focus on finding the perfect shot, really setting up the rule of thirds. Right here you can see I have, it went a little bit too fast, but right here I have the water flowing down, I have rocks in the background, and in the background you can also see there's trees and stuff like that.
That's a beautiful shot.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun to shoot, finding locations, finding the shots, and just setting everything up, whether it was a shift focus.
Right.
I don't think you see any in this right here, but...
I love the contrast you have here.
Thank you, yeah.
With all the colors.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun to work on.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, this was actually supposed to be a shift focus here, but I ended up changing it up and just making it just random B-roll. Yeah.
Feel that?
Mm-hmm.
What locations did you use?
So I shot with a few of my friends from class. I went to a bridge under the bridge, which is in Norwalk.
Oh, nice.
And then I also went to the beach and a few other locations. But yeah,
that's cool.
It was a lot of fun finding the shots.
Yeah.
And bringing it into the editing room and putting everything together.
Definitely.
Creating
That's
a story
awesome.
out of just shots of nature.
Yeah. So, what are the most important skills you've learned this semester, and how would you put them to use?
For me, it was time management. The pre-production side was very, very important to me because I was editing, I was starring, and I was filming everything by myself. So really starting off and knowing what my shots were going to be, having my location diagram and having my shot sheets ready to go and having storyboard ready.
All the prep
it
work.
really, yeah, exactly. It really allowed me to go into my location, know exactly what camera position I was going to use, know exactly what the shot was going to look like, and then just going right into it. And it allowed me, for the most part, have to only for the most part, it allowed me to do one take of some shots, which really helped with time, especially when you're doing everything by yourself. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, what are the most important skills you've learned, and how will you put them to you? Oh wait, I did that. So, today we got to meet someone who shared with us his love for motorcycles and the process of making one. As a new TV director, he hopes to apply what he has learned here at NCC to shoot more videos of his own and his bike. He also plans to use new knowledge from TV1 to take his editing skills to the next level and make more professional-looking projects. We would like you to thank our guest today, Doris, for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Henry.
Thanks for coming, Ty. Always a pleasure.
It is.
We hope you enjoyed meeting one of television's future directors, and we hope you will continue to join us each week to watch our progress. Thank you. Have a good day.
This has been The New Directors with your host, Henry Hobson. Directed by Eric Stoltenbach. I'm your announcer, James Thompson. The New Directors is a Norwalk Community College student production.